Let's get to the episode.
Hey y'all, welcome back to another episode on the Simply Evolving podcast. I want to thank you guys so much for tuning in to another episode where women evolve into the highest version of themselves. I'm also noticing I had a couple people on my TikTok as I was posting shorts and stuff that were male, or should I say men, who were reposting and giving me my giving compliments about what I'm doing, and I appreciate that. So all in all, although I am geared mostly to my audience is to women, I'm a woman of color, so therefore I might be more understood by women of color. But at the same time, I'm geared to young women, young girls from at least 13 to however old I am, which I am turning 25 this year and up. If people who are women who are older than me can identify with the topics that I talk about. So, but in all, I'm also wanting to bridge the gap between men and women so they get to understand your sister, your brother, your wife, your daughter, your friend, your coworker, a little bit better, just so we can get to know each other better. Because what I've learned is through the last couple of years, I've been doing my best to learn men. So therefore, I can understand my father more, understand like the men in my life, which hopefully one day I'm going to claim it. I will be able to get in contact with my brother one of these days, family members, and things of that nature, just so I can have the best relationships possible. And then if I have a son, if God blesses me with that, with my husband, I want to be able to understand him, because I think there's a lot of hidden communication that happens in relationship across the board that I think sometimes we miss, which can be one of the missing factors in relationships. So I just truly believe that getting an understanding of yourself so you can identify how to be better for other people and still keep your own boundaries, as well as being able to support others. Because I think what you want in life, you study. So that's where I am in my life right now. Although, like I said, my main priority right now is myself, but just keeping in mind and keeping that space open for relationships outside of myself as well. So, who we talking about today? This song, Rip Me Out the Plastic, is stuck in my head. It's just that phrase. I made a TikTok today. I'm reclaiming it, okay? Doing the Lord's work. But today, I have my topic in my phone. Let me get back to it. Oh, okay. I know I was gonna name this pod Dupe. I don't know if y'all have seen those on social media, all these dupes and whatnot. It's just so ironic how society just switches and how things come back up. From I remember having on Champions back in the day, shopping at Payless. My mama, she shopped at Payless for me. Like I said, I have older parents, so they're sorry, y'all. I thought I had my phone on work mode. Their way of like spoil me, I guess you could say, would have been through experiences. I've had birthday parties that I can't even count how many up until I made the decision that I didn't want to have birthday parties anymore, which I probably was like about 15 at the time. And then Christmases going out. So that was their way of, like I had decent clothes, but I guess you could say I never owned a pair of Air Force Ones, or I had a pair of Timberlands as a baby. So I was just kind of out of touch. It wasn't until like I got into like high school to where I kind of started to, no, it wasn't until I moved to the suburbs when I kind of started paying attention to things like that nature. Because I remember back in, well, when I was in Southfield, which is, I guess you could still say the suburbs if you live in Michigan, then we had dress codes. So switching from there to where I moved, they didn't have any dress code. So we used to have to put our collared shirts underneath like the Aeropostale t-shirts or whatever. So that's what we did for like hoodies and stuff like that. So I didn't really have to care about stuff like that. Regular tan khaki pants, shoes. I mean, I can't remember what type of shoes I was wearing back in the day. I really don't. But it wasn't about that. So, I mean, that gets to show you the difference between, there are pros and cons when it comes to the, different economic systems when you're moving throughout public school. Of course, I understand when they have private school that they have dress code because it limits the fact of kind of compare. Although every economic system has its own pros and cons. They just, until you're in that area of life, you aren't privy to the information. So, there's a little bit of evil in every single area of life. But yeah, we going dupe crazy. Like I remember back in the day, like I started off wearing regular, really packed hair when I first started getting sew-ins. I used to do this. Half. I guess you could say half up, half down, but it was it wasn't feed ins. It was just regular cornrows with the curly packed hair in the back. That was my style. And then as I got to go older, I started to want to do the weaves. I'm a type 4 hair, 4C. So, I really don't know my hair texture. I know it's definitely 4C because my roots be rooting, okay? They be wading in the water type roots. But then my curls are like, I guess haven't found the correct. I've never trained my hair to be straight. So, that's the problem. And then, like, it's just a long story, I'm loving my hair. Who made that song? I don't know who made it, but I am loving my natural hair. But I say that to say, like, I was doing the leave outs and stuff like that, and then I started to burn off my hair, as we all have gone through that process. And then I started doing closures, and I think as a punishment, my mama had made me get like this synthetic wig. It was like a bang. Oh my god! But look how I was going on TikTok all this time, like looking for a new summer hairstyles or whatever. I just ordered me a Synthetica and did. It's a half. I saw this cute half up, half down because it's more so about like the versatility. First of all, with the depression of everything, like it's being able to get the bang for your buck is not as affordable as it used to be. I remember I used to be ordering wigs off of AliExpress like clockwork, like hit the button every check, hit the button, hit the button, hit the button, hit the button, and then now it's just like. It's hit or miss with the bundles nowadays. So it's like you might as well get something that you can wear for a decent amount of time. And not saying you can't invest in there are some really good bundle hair out here, but realistically, where I am in my life, I feel I don't need those things to validate myself anymore. And that's kind of like where you can get caught up in. But it's just like, I know, like I never owned a pair of shoes or whatever. Like I think I had like one pair of Levi's. I just bought what made me look good, and then like I said, as you get older, it's crazy how like you can start to get more self-conscious about that. And my heart really goes out to the younger girls right now because there's so much pressure that you don't need to have right now. So it's like, well, you should be really trying to focus on yourself and whatever. Like I remember even like iPhones wasn't crazy back then, like the Blackberries was out or whatever. I had this pink phone by Sprint. It was like a square. I think it was like a faux dupe Blackberry. That was my first phone was a flip phone. Then I got that phone. I don't remember what type of phone that was. Then I got an HTC Evo phone. And then the iPhones came out. But at the time the iPhones came out, I had an iPod, the first iPod Touch. So I didn't really care about getting an iPhone. I never pressed it until, like I said, I moved out into the further suburbia area. And I was like, oh, okay, these things are important. But the pressure is just so crazy. Like I feel like there is no median. Like I feel like the middle class is like a scam, to be honest, because like the middle class is like, I'm not trying to look too like this, I'm not trying to look too like this. So like the middle class is more like, has always been to me fraudulent. It's more so like it should be a stepping stone and not just a destination. And I think that's where a lot of the society has gotten caught up in, is getting stuck there, because you can work yourself up in certain jobs, but at the same time, it's kind of like you working your fingers to the bone, okay? So it's just so funny seeing how syntheticals was like for a period of time, like you gotta have this Remy, da 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 da. And now the girlies out here doing their nails themselves. I'm one of them. They are doing their lash extensions. One of them, I was one of them forcefully. Had an allergic reaction. Then there's the people who are doing their eyebrows. Girl, I don't trust it. I still go to get the threads. All right. They're doing the waxing themselves. I want to learn that. They are just doing everything because it's like, you know what I'm saying? I think as it's very important also to be able to learn our bodies more and not feel shamed. And I feel like that kind of this season that we're in, that is like getting to be able to make a reality check for yourself and say, okay, you know what? If I can save at any place, like, you know, living the pressure to live in a high rise studio or whatever luxury apartment, and you're living check to check, even if you're making millions of dollars or whatever, like your money's still going. You know what I'm saying? Like you always still have to be in this boss bae mode. Like it ain't it. And then that's why you have the balance between the switch between boss bae and then soft girl, because girl, that was never supposed to be you. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, girl, it's a lot being a woman right now. It's a lot being a woman, you know, trying to keep up with all these things I guess don't matter. And I think each person, whether you're male or female, young or old, you go through this process of learning what's really important to you. Because it does bring you joy being able to buy certain things for yourself. Like that made me feel really good. I've been working since I was 15 years old, and I worked myself up to the position that I'm in, and being able to pay for my first car, and being able to get into whatever I wanted without no co-signers my whole life. Like it feels so good to me to be able to do that. But just like, I think a lot of times we find identity in that, no matter who you are. And it's really easy to get that, you know, because people clap for you for what you're doing because of typically what they can get from you, and not just from like what drove you to get it, like what it really means, the meaning behind your business, the meaning behind your nonprofit, the purpose behind why you're doing what you're doing, the purpose behind why you're playing sports. You know, a lot of times people come around and they're here to just let me get that on my plate. Let me get that on my plate from your table. Like, come on, bro. Like, let's just let's just be honest. Let's just be real. It's exhausting. Very much so. Very much so exhausting. So yes, it's just so ironic to me that like, girl, I don't care, as long as it looks good on me. I am the masterpiece, and these are just expressions of myself. Oh, okay. Because there could never be another one. Who said that in this song? There could never be another one. Y'all know how y'all be trying to repeat things until you can come to your head. There could never be another one. I don't know who said it. But no, DJ Khaled, another one. Nope, can't. You can't replicate this. And then there's people out here who are, you can literally see there's a bunch of clones walking around. Like, you gotta have 32-inch bust down. Like, girl, it's so funny. Back when I first started wearing wigs off of AliExpress, so this was probably like 2017 up until 2020, I want to say. I was bust down, and I got a couple bust downs, you know what I'm saying? But girl, now I'm stopping at 22, 24. Before it was like 28. No, I ain't got time. Like, first of all, I'm going to the gym. You know what I'm saying? I have a realistic job. It gets in the way. I don't really feel like doing all that every single day. Now, if you live in a lifestyle to where you don't really have to do things the traditional way, meaning like an actual job or whatever, like I guess you could say a typical job, you know, like whether you're healthcare, you kind of not about to have your hair down. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's all draining. Unless you like some IG model and you're just making money off of reels and UGCs and stuff like that, that if that's for you, I'm not knocking it. But it's just not functionable. Like the long nails. First of all, I went from the short coffins to just short square. You know what I'm saying? I went from the false tips to, it's just so funny how the evolution goes, okay? From the false tip overlay down to the overlay, then to the dip powder and shellac mani. Now, girl, I'm doing just shellac, and polish. And I'm doing my nails myself. And like I said, it was more so because of budgeting. But when I get back to doing my nails again, I probably will go back to my regular. I do just a one coat of dip. And the only reason why I do the dip is because of the job that I have to try to protect my nails. Otherwise, I would just do regular shellac polish. Honestly, if I'm just being honest. But I do like the extra, like, hold on. Am I going to say this could word correctly? But we going to not fumble it. We going to try to accentuate the nail. You know what I'm saying? I like the really sharp, square, light, round on my nails, you know? Love me a good mani-pedi. But it's just like, girl, I was getting massages every week. And that's because, like I said, for one, it was self-care. But I think along the journey of learning self, I kind of found the identity in the routine of the things that I was doing. The routine of going to get, girl, I can't say this enough. It was so bad for me. Because listen, you have to learn how to know you and who you are. Because I think sometimes when you're an introverted extrovert to where you're a people person, but at the same time, your people person tendencies are selective. So it's like you want to do things because, you know, like 10 times out of 10 is where everybody about to be at. But it's just like having the faith to know your crew is going to be your crew. The people who God has set aside for you are there. You just got to be able to stand the time of like knowing what you represent, what you like to do, and just wait until keep doing the things that you like to do and just have a knowing that your crew, your pack is coming. It can be really discouraging waiting in that process, you know, because like I said, I would be going out, girl, identity switch. I would be going out looking for clothes and stuff like that to wear. And it would be all club scene clothes. But girl, I went to the club for like a month when I turned 21. And that's just because it's like, experience it. You know what I'm saying? And then that lasted a month. And I haven't been since. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I don't drink. So if anything, it's going to be some wine. You know what I'm saying? And girl, you just got to know yourself. So now I'm thinking like, dang, Abby, all these clothes you got in your closet represent something that you don't even believe in, something that you don't even truly enjoy. Oh, all right. See how much time, energy, effort, focus you waste, finances, resources you waste daydreaming about something that doesn't even align with you, but you want to do it because that's what people are doing, and you're low-key, it's from fear that you won't find your people. And it's all because you're not putting yourself out there for real. You staying in the house. So being a homebody is low-key like a sense of false protection sometimes. I think there's a difference between finding comfort and saying, you know what, I don't have to go out and do something every single day. I'm perfectly content being at home. Especially if your job, and either way, if your job is at home, whether your job is at a physical location, or whatever, like, you still need balance. So, yes. But back to this dupe. So, it's kind of like living a dupe life. Like, it's just so funny to me. Like, the dupe on DH Gate. This is not promo, but if you want to sponsor me, go ahead. You know, and then Temu, Fashion Nova. Girl, they got True Religion jeans in TJ Maxx for $20-something. I had a pair of Joes, but it's because I thrifted them. But I can't fit them no more. Girl, it's just so crazy how, like, you have to know your space. And it does not mean, like I said, if the value of the dollar, the value of character has to be taught. And I think that also comes from, like I said, when we come from, I'm speaking for myself, I come from I come from a ethnic of people who haven't had the same opportunities. So therefore we idolize the idolization of what the working class and the mid class have, right? still trying to get ahead but getting broke at the same time. You know what I'm saying? Like, I had to realize, like, and I through last year, the things that I've had to sell. I had sold my old iPhone. I wanted to keep it because I wanted to have that as a work phone. Because I typically would, what I used to do was I would put money to the side. Then when I could afford it, I would go pay cash. And then some things I'll put on my credit card. But for the big purchase item, that's what I would typically would do. So I had to sell that to make sure that I could maintain where God is at keeping me up, because I can't idolize a phone over my home, over my car note. You know what I'm saying? So I had to sell those things. I had to take whatever I took. Like, I would typically clean out my closet every season anyway, and I would just take it to like Play-Dohs or whatever. But at the time, I did that because I needed some money to make ends meet at the time. And I'm just like, Ebony, God really took me through the season of like stripping me from my possessions. And like from jewelry that my grandmother had given me, I sold that. And it's just like, when you are idolizing your possessions, you don't think that way. You think you have to hold on to whatever it is that God cannot replenish and restore beyond abundantly, beyond what you could think. Okay. It's from fear. So I had to break that mold within myself. Like, I had to break the mold of like, okay, you know what? Yeah, you miss getting your nails done or whatever, but let's try this, So I ended up getting me an acrylic kit on Amazon. So there were just little things that I did to try to like build my confidence back up, from not being able to order wigs all the time, and just God redefining my character and who He's created me to be through last year. Thanks, y'all. I'm telling you, glow different when you allow God to put His hand on you and you allow Him to help redefine who you are. Because a lot of times they're either things that have happened to us or decisions that we made that clouds who we truly are, including parenting, I think, because like I said, that's why I think it's so important. And I'm not saying you're going to be 100% perfect, but I think it's really important for you to go through this season of isolation for yourself, so you can develop yourself, and then you can meet somebody who is yoked and on the same level with a developed version of yourself. So therefore you can have and be open to different parenting skills and things like that. You can be open to getting the resources and, having the finances, because you're open and you see things in a different perspective, to be able to give your children a different opportunity, at the same time making sure they have the foundational beliefs and of their character building, so therefore they're not like getting stuck in this web, because it is Charlotte's web out here. It really is. It's a bunch of mess. It's a bunch of mess, and it's like a rabbit hole in Alice in Wonderland, and you don't know where you're going until you end up flopping somewhere. And then you have how do I say this? You have the disappointment in yourself from being somewhere because you're on a journey that you were never destined to be on, but you did it more so because of the validation that you got from other people. And then it's because of other people's opinions, because you flopped. To where this really could be, I think anytime that you hit a fork in the road, anytime you are halted abruptly, I think it's a really good time to say, like, change your perspective and say, you know what, God is trying to get me to do something else. God is trying to get me to pivot right now. And without those abrupt stops, for you to really crash and fall and see. Because you know something? When something breaks, like, think about Jenga. When it all falls down, you get to look at every little piece and identify what you got going on. And it's up to you to say at this point, you know what? Here, God, take this piece. All right, this piece is a good piece. Okay, let's keep stacking these pieces. Okay, God, I need you to do this one. Or you know what, God, show me how to build this Jenga up in a way that it don't fall. Show me how to place these things. Show me how to place these opportunities. Show me how to place my personality, my character, my purpose in a way that I know how to maneuver in each season. Let me read y'all what I put in my notes. Let me see. Hold on. The rise of acceptable dupes. Luxury is showing the meaningless false idols. So this is also Sarah Jakes, okay? It's so crazy how you have these waves for women of natural beauty, no makeup, you know, and it's like a lot of people do everything but the real work to heal from the inside out. We do the no makeup look instead of, you know what? Can we make can we make a cream? Can we make a foundation? Can we make a therapy? Can we make this available? So therefore, can we find holistic doctors so therefore we can understand like on a deeper level, why am I having these outbreaks in my skin? What am I eating? You know what I'm saying? But that takes a lot of work instead of just covering stuff up. So then you get the kinky curly wigs. You get the this, the that, everything that mimics what you have, so you don't have to deal with your imperfections. God. Back at it again. Boy, I tell you. It's like these things are being put up as roadblocks to deter you from getting deep within yourself. You know? Because if you ain't noticed, it's a lot of mimicking of natural. And there's only, I don't know if y'all noticed, there's only so much mimicking of natural that you can get. Because like I said, no, don't hold me. Don't hold me. Listen, I love me a good lace front. 13 by 6, if you please, okay? Because it got to be a 6-inch part, because the 4s ain't doing it. But, okay, love them, absolutely. But still, girl, that lace. With your natural hair, you know what I'm saying? You might have to hold on to a little edge control, because you got to have the glue. You got to have the headband. You got to make sure it's tight, make sure it's right. We got the tape-ins now. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think there's a difference between learning how to... I am drawing a blank on this word, and I tried it already. What is the word? Wheel of Fortune. What is that word? I'm gonna get it. Hold on. Okay, let's see. Go in the back of my brain and think, what is this word? What is it? All right, skip that word then. So there's a difference between learning how to enhance. Got it? Stop playing with it. Don't play with it, baby. Don't play with it. How to enhance your natural beauty. You know, because there is a certain amount of leisure that you get with, you know, just being able to get up and go, girl, I love it. I'm doing headband wigs right now. One underneath this because I need to wash my hair. My hair is sweated out. Okay, that's why I got on this hat. And I need to get another one because this hat is a little, you know. But listen, Linda, ain't nothing wrong with that. I am not telling you not to do it at all. But I'm telling you, let that be the icing on the top and the sprinkles. Girl, I want your cake to be thick. I want you to feel thick. I want you to feel homemade. I want you to know what God had to do. Understand why he made you look the way you look. Because there's an agenda in everything. I think there's a reason to why you look a certain way to attract certain things. So you can have a certain message to bring. I am not my hair. I am not undone. Break it down like, I am not this skin. I am not these hips. I am not my eye color. Oh, no, no. I am not this bag, but get it, sis. I am not these clothes. I am not, no, 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 no. This is an extension of me, not my identity. Stop playing with it. Okay, producer me coming soon. Stop playing with it. All right. Book me. Yes. Yeah, we have to learn that. We have to learn that. He took some. Do you know how much time it takes for him to know, all right, to arrange these events, and let me make sure that this person meets this person, and therefore they have to go through these circumstances, so therefore this happens and this happens. Boy, you was not a mistake. But there's a reason to why we haven't, and rest in peace to any and every single woman who's out there who is trying to either enhance herself, do whether it was from an accident, whether it was from childbirth. I get it. But I think at the same time, if men and women would be giving each other their roses and their flowers more so, because I think there's a fear for women. I think this is just me being me, okay? Because there's a reason to why I think I'm just let me explain to you my thought process, okay? Okay, God's ways is not my ways, but this is my preference, okay? I would rather me have myself in the best shape possible and feel confident within my shape from one before or really close before I have my kids. Why do we think that way? Or why do I think that way? I think that way because I've seen and I've heard how during pregnancy you have postpartum and things like that, and your foundation is really important. Of course, you have genetics where you may really gain a lot of weight. Sometimes you may not. Sometimes your foundation of having abs and stuff like that, it might fall right off way quicker or whatever, or make the process of losing the weight easier. But that also comes because we hear about and we see how men cheat on women during pregnancy and how they, change on women when they're pregnant and things of that nature. So for me, I think it's possible, not only because I deserve to be my healthiest, as I am on this weight loss journey, but at the same time, like, things happen. And I think it gives you some type of security. So therefore, we have women who are out here having kids because there's a lot. It's like a new baby booming era going on right now. So I think they do it because the secret in the back of our head is you have all these models out here who look a certain way. And here, my body, I have body dysphoria, going through all these things. And I don't think he truly values what my body has had to go through to give him our child. The same way I think it's the same way that men want to have X, Y, and Z together before they meet a woman. And then any woman that they meet, they feel is looking at them a certain way and judging them because they don't feel secure within themselves. So you might end up self-sabotaging because of the lack of self-development, because you're scared, because you have to get to those roots. Like how I just got to that root. Like also like, wanting to have, learning how to rest in God and knowing that God gives you grace. Like I truly believe that, like, I'm not putting a time limit or I'm not controlling the narrative of how I get into a relationship. At the same time, I would prefer that I feel confident within myself, which I do. I feel confident within like having a good routine, because I think like one of my weak points was putting all my stuff at bay and hyper focusing on a man and helping him, and pouring into him and like putting my vision on the back burner a bit, on top of if life just lives. And I think a lot of women go through that too, because let's just be honest, we were hardwired and engineered to help men. That's why we can't, we have a hard time getting out of that. But I think having a strong foundation of myself, my purpose, and my goals will help me be able to identify also how his purpose and goals align with mine, because they should be complementary, you know? Um, so therefore, like I said, if I have to make any compromises, which you will in relationship, I would feel like it's worth the mission, because our missions align with each other for a greater purpose, for the kingdom agenda, you know? Because I think sometimes, like I said, that also can lead to why people will end up getting in like competitions in marriage and in relationships, is because like y'all purposes don't align. So therefore, when they in their winning season, it's like, dang, you making me miss out on mine. When it's like, no, like your winning season is actually going to help build mine up, because we kind of have like the same purpose. You know what I'm saying? So, or like I said, maybe like I said, for me, he could be a male podcaster. He could be a male that's doing the same things that I'm doing. And in a sense, like we're meeting both ends of the spectrum to bring everything together. You know, I have to have faith and believe in God for him to do those things. But like, I can't do that. And I can't get to that place if I'm hyper focused on things externally that have nothing to do with who I truly am. Because when I pour into you guys through this platform, it doesn't come from this bundle. from who is this from? Love Me Hair. It does not pull from this Nike shirt. It doesn't pull from this Apple Watch. It doesn't pull from my iPhone 11. It pulls from my soul, my character, my being, the healthy perspective that I have, because I see the value in me, and I see the value in pouring into me and educating myself, so therefore I can help others and myself. So it's just so funny how, like I said, it's like a reality check. Like I saw Suri Jakes the other day, a couple Sundays ago, of her like, this wig don't define me. I'm still gonna get this purpose done. I'm still gonna preach this message. I'm not gonna let the fear of being seen, girl. Oh, because if that was not the story of my life, I did not want to be seen. I didn't want to be seen for who I truly was. And I please don't dwell and don't look back. Okay? But when God is trying to get you to see something, accept it and say, hey, you know what? Thank you, God, for freeing me from it. When I had to think about a certain thing that I had dealt with, I'm like, dang, God, I'm able to see me through what you had me go through. And I get to see that person. I get to see this, and I get to see, oh my God, we are connected. This don't stop me from anything. If anything, it just made my vision more clear. You know what I'm saying? It made me understand that this still got to be done. This made it clear for me to know that it's very vital for me to be able to see myself, understand myself, identify myself, keep a hold on to myself. Because anything else is a distraction and a deterrent from what I was placed here to do. Okay? I'm not telling you put yourself in situations to where, like I said, things just happen. And then I said another part is it's like the fear of being judged. Okay, you will allow this public moment to dim your light and make you say, I'm pretty sure Sarah Jakes went through moments from that experience. It's like, dang, questioning herself, you know, like, I'm never gonna do this again. No, do it again. If it happens tomorrow, oh well. Must be God telling me something. There's a purpose in everything. Letting go of the dupe. Okay. Letting go, let it go. You don't need those things anymore. Let it go. Let it go. Okay, Elsa. All right. Oh, okay. Like, I have never felt this free in my life. Like, and then, like I said, and then as you go through this, I think this is what you should expect as you go through the stage of stripping, is you would get to a point to where, like I said, you received all the lessons, or you received the understanding of why things had to go the way that they did. And then it's okay, you know what? Now that Because I think sometimes it can resemble a little slight depression, and you may not want to do certain things for yourself no more. Because like I'm telling you, girl, child, when I was going through that deep healing, the way I was going through it, girl, I just did not really care about my appearance. I didn't care about this X, Y, and Z. But I'm like, no, God still wants me to show up as who I am. So let me polish myself as so. Let me polish myself like a one-of-a-kind person that I am, regardless of how I'm feeling. I don't have to look like what I'm going through. So you know what? Extra 5 minutes in the morning. Girl, do your lashes. I know you may not feel like it. Girl, do your nails. Try to keep them done as often as you can. I know sometimes they be breaking down at work, but you know what? Take time while you watching Netflix to go and re-prep up your nails. You deserve to show up as a good representation of like, hey, I've gone through this, but that does not define me. I've gone through this, but here I still stand. Okay? And you know what? I'm okay to show you what I got underneath. Oh, all right. Oh, okay. That brings so much confidence to myself. Like, before, like, just being, and that's why I kind of like the fact of TikTok too. It's kind of also helped me in a sense because there's such vulnerability on there, user discernment. But I'm noticing it. Like, IG is just so prepped in. I'm not telling you all to go run to TikTok, but if you are on there, I think everybody can kind of like identify like, hey, yeah, TikTok got a different type of vibe, you know? And that's what sets you apart. God always made sure that he got people down to the level. He will hit that hip. Listen, he will hit it, that hip, until you can't stand up no more. And you have to sit there and look at yourself like, self, let that mask go. Let that relationship go. I can't, listen, I don't even have the strength to hold up the mask no more. Listen, you get to the point in your finances, look, I don't got the strength. Hold on. I don't have the strength to prep around like I can afford this Benz. Hold on. Hip, listen, I don't have the strength to try to be Captain Save 'em for my whole family no more. I gotta focus on myself. Ouch. Hold on. Wait a minute. At this job, I need to take me a personal mental health day. Hold on, hip. Wait a minute. I need to go sell some of these clothes. Hold on, hip. You know what? Instead of this luxury $3,000 apartment, let me go find me $1,000 apartment because my savings ain't really what it need to be. And truthfully, I don't need this anyway. And truthfully, listen, hip. Listen. Okay? Let him do it. Let him reveal yourself to you. Let him break you down. When I had to surrender, I ain't got a flag. Listen. Well, I don't know why I thought I had a flag in here. Listen, Linda. All right. Listen. you know how in boxing they take them. You done really tried to win this war. But God, listen. I don't even got the strength. I know I'm a victor at the end of the day. But God, you gonna have to lift my hand up and show them that I'm winning. You gonna have to lift my hand up and show them I still got it. You gonna have to lift my hand up and say, no matter what my circumstance is, I still got it. I'm still a victor. I'm gonna see a victory. I'm gonna see a victory. 'Cause the battle belongs to you. Listen. All right. Fall in love with the dupe when you can. Accept the dupe. You know why? Because it's also saying, you know what? If you want to get that dupe, you can get the dupe. If you want, because sometimes you may need something to aspire or to look at and say, you know what? I think sometimes when you have the temporary thing there and you finally put the real thing there, you feel a sense of accomplishment. but don't live in the dupe either. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Be resourceful with the dupe. You know what I'm saying? But don't be the dupe. Don't be the dupe. So I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Remember, I am a woman who is simply evolving mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally. Listen, I am love. I create love. I attract love. I am strong. I am beautiful. I am intelligent. I am worthy. I am a child of God. Okay? Know who you are. Be empowered by who you are and who you are meant to be. Never shrink. Stand tall. Stand proud. And don't forget, you got somebody on a highlight bling. Because he can only see one thing. Listen, and I know when the highlight bling, he gonna know what to do with me. Listen. All right. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to another episode. Wherever you are seeing this clip, I don't know where it's gonna be. If you're listening on YouTube, if you're listening to on the various podcast platforms that are out there, let me know what topics you guys want to talk about. You can also send me questions to my email, simplyevolvingpodcast@gmail.com. You can send me a DM somewhere if you want me to talk about a certain topic. I would love to communicate with you guys and interact with you guys on a more personal level. Maybe I can start a questions thing, when you guys put in questions and you want to ask, like, how did I get through a certain thing? I would love to be able to do that. I am here to share my experiences. I always ask God, Lord, please give me wisdom and give me a healthy perspective, so therefore I can teach and preach the reason and the importance of what I went through, that I don't share things out of my emotions. So that's what I pray for. So that's all that I will make sure that I will give to the best of my ability. Thank you guys so much for tuning into this episode. I will see you in the next. Bye.